2 cross-country state champions, a 3rd place finish, and a state championship in boys soccer. And that was all in one day. It's been an incredible start to season 10. NSW's Kamen Entchev takes a look back at the fall sports season.
Neuqua Valley Wildcats as the 2016 state champions.
Neuqua Valley boys cross country, Naperville North girls cross country, and boys soccer, as well as Bennett Academy girls tennis, all brought home state titles this fall season.
The state championships are very special. They don't happen all the time, and things have to go right, and you have to do what you need to do to make it go right.
Dan Iverson, the Naperville North girls cross country coach, is no stranger to state titles, taking home his 6th this year and perhaps one of the toughest to win going into the season.
It's always different, and certainly this one was. I mean, we weren't sure where we were going to be able to go, having lost really 4 key runners from last year out of our 7. But you know, the girls, they looked at it and they thought, okay, I think we can pull this together. And over time, over the course of the year, they did, and that is a tremendous sense of satisfaction, certainly.
Iverson was also a state champion father. His son Colin won a title with boys soccer on the same day.
You know, to be able to see us and be excited for what we did is certainly a satisfying emotion, and then being able to be excited for him is, you know, emotion on a different level, and it was cool to see in both ways.
The soccer team led by Chris Sullivan played its best late in the year, creating a lot of momentum.
I think the turning point was the Wabanzi game. That was the sectional semifinal that we won 3-0. And after that, we just started playing really, really well.
And that's an understatement. The Huskies went on one of the most impressive playoff runs in soccer state history.
Knocking out the first team, the number 1 team in the nation, Morton. That was an amazing accomplishment, but after that, it's really hard to refocus. You're still on such a high from that game. It's hard to refocus and bring yourself down and be able to compete in the next game. And luckily we were able to do that and beat 2 more amazing teams. Bradley Bourbonnais, another undefeated team, were really good, and Barrington was a super tough team. And so it was just amazing, just night after night, pulling out huge wins and winning a state championship.
It was a state title that meant a lot to the captain, the star, and the senior.
I think for sure I'll remember this for the rest of my life, because I recorded the game on TV, and I'll probably I just picture myself showing my kids that game, and I think I'll never forget this, and it's just a super special moment in my life.
While North Soccer went on a Cinderella run, Neuqua Valley boys cross country went into the season ranked 1st in the state and in the top 5 in the nation.
We try to not focus on rankings, because we just try to do our best and then prove, because rankings don't mean anything if you can't prove it, and so we just focused on making sure we were at our best, and results were whatever happened.
And the results were glorious. A state championship, a Midwest regional title, and a 5th place finish at nationals. But it wasn't all smooth sailing for Neuqua.
This team had a lot of different personalities, and we didn't always get along very well. You know, these guys are very competitive, and they want to beat one another, and sometimes that got in the way of us working together. And over the season, that transformation happened. So I guess that's what I'm most proud of this group for, is they finally understood that they didn't have to battle one another, that they could actually work together to achieve a goal.
And like most state titles, there was a turning point.
I would say it was the Peoria Notre Dame invite, the first invite down in Peoria in mid-September. You know, it was a very hot day, but the guys implemented our race plan to perfection. They ran together, and really didn't turn it on to that last mile, and that kind of became our standard, the way that we went about racing, and that's what we did in the state meet. You know, we knew that it was going to be very close through 2 miles, and that we were going to have to exert everything we had that last mile to make it happen.
Making it happen at the end was also a key for Bennett girls tennis, who won their sectional championship by only 1 point on the way to a state title.
First time in school's history that we've had a state championship in tennis. I think Mike thought he had a chance. His team had a chance to do that. They had a good group of girls playing. and they just went out, and I think they amazed a lot of people.
The Bennett football team also went on a great run, winning 10 games and making it to the state semifinals, losing to the eventual state champion East St. Louis.
A lot of good seniors, a lot of great seniors, you know, and I think what I noticed around them, they're just a bunch of good guys to be around also, but they just pulled together for one another. I think they put their own individual statistics aside and just played as well as a team can play together.
Senior leadership was a theme for Bennett and a key for the third-place soccer team.
I think what made it more impressive and good this year was they had really great senior leadership on the team. Some of the seniors had been with him for 3 years on the varsity. I think the leadership, when you have if I look back at all the teams that have done well in state tournament action, you'd probably find that the senior leadership has been just amazing. And this might be one of the best I've seen.
But it was the sophomore that stole the show for Bennett girls golf, as Lauren Boudreau finished second individually at state.
I drove the ball really good, and my speed control on the greens made pars easy, and I had 4 birdies that I drained some nice putts on.
Overall, it was a successful fall sports season, with 4 local teams taking home state titles, and as you saw, several teams and individuals making deep runs in the playoffs. For NSW, I'm Kamen Entchev.
State champions!